Hey guys, it's H4 aka Beardnor himself, and I'm bringing to you another free-for-all edition of Hipfire BITCH. I hope you guys are enjoying the challenge of trying to win a free-for-all hipfire only. In this game, I am on Yemen using the Type25 assault rifle. I am using the fast mag attachment and the laser sight. This has been a good setup for this gun, especially on a larger map, and I'm going to be bringing to you guys the top 10 tips to help you do the Hipfire BITCH challenge. Hopefully this will help you out and it will allow me to feature your gameplay. Tip number 10 is choose the class/attachments that is best set up for the lobby or map that you are in. I would suggest highly that if you're on a smaller map like Hijack, that you use a suppressor, as people will quickly find you if you are not. It'll keep you off the radar and it'll keep your element of surprise. However, on a larger map you may want to forego the suppressor, as you will be trying to find people a lot of the time and it is easier to draw them in with your loud non-suppressed fire. This may be counterintuitive if you run into a lobby where the players are exceptionally good. If they are above average players, then you are not going to want to be foregoing that suppressor. The suppressor will be a mandatory attachment if you run into a lobby with good players. Tip number 9. Know the limits of your gun. If your gun has a crappy hipfire box, which many of them do, then do not engage anyone that is outside of your range. You're going to have to find the comfort zone and the sweet spot for each weapon. I did a recoil test with the Type25 assault rifle, hipfire only, going full auto and also burst firing with and without the laser sight. You're going to notice a significant difference to this when you're watching it on the screen. Basically what you should know is that statistically the laser sight reduces the radius of your hipfire box by 35%. This equals a 58% tighter spread when you're hipfiring with a laser sight and an assault rifle. This is a reference from Drifter's laser sight video, which will be linked down in the description. You should definitely go check out his content, as he covers most of this stuff in quite good detail. But that being said, the Type25 turns out to be a really good hip-firing assault rifle. It really allows you to reach out to medium range and touch someone, which is exactly what you want to do when you're doing the hip-fire only challenge. Tip number 8, close quarters combat is your friend. You are going to want to engage people in close quarter situations. This should influence the map that you choose and the map areas that you stick to. Tip number 7, don't chase anyone. If you tip someone off to your presence and give them any opportunity to turn around and shoot you at a range that is good for ADSing, you are going to lose that gunfight. Try not to chase people. Instead, try to cut them off or to approach people that are more suited for your combat. Tip number 6, take awkward routes. If you are predictable, it is going to be very easy to kill you aiming down sight. Try to be unpredictable and take weird routes amongst the map. If you are unpredictable, it'll be easier for you to catch enemies by surprise. Tip number 5, choose your perks wisely. The perks in this game can help you immensely when it comes to hip firing. If you are going to take routes that involve a lot of climbing, then dexterity will be your friend. However, if you are in a map that doesn't require a lot of climbing, you will not need dexterity, as you will not need to recover from sprinting and raise your gun for ADSing. So what I would suggest is to use extreme conditioning. This allows you to track down enemies a little bit faster and cover more ground on the map in shorter periods of time. Other tips such as Ghost and Lightweight can also help you cover more ground while staying off the radar. These are the perks that I would suggest. If you are using a gun that eats through a lot of ammo, I would suggest Scavenger as well, since you don't need a lot of lethal tactical grenades and potentially no tactical grenades at all. I can suggest foregoing them for more perks. Tip number 4, bump up your sensitivity. Since ADSing is the only thing that keeps us at a low sensitivity. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Look at this stupid death here. Guy throws a bouncing Betty into me, and I die because it bounced off me several times in the door jam. But go bump up your sensitivity. Bumping up your sensitivity is a very, very helpful thing to do, as you do not need to ADS. Low ADS sensitivities are good for when you're aiming down sights, but they're not applicable when you are hipfire bitching. What you should try and do instead is bump up your sensitivity so you are able to turn around on a dime and come and crush your enemy. As most people will have low sensitivities, these awkward engagements in close quarters will give you the upper hand. Tip number 3, cut off passages to hot spots. Wherever the hotspot of the map is, where several people are fighting all at once, it is not smart to jump into the middle of this, as you will likely die. However, what you can try and do is cut off the passage to this hotspot. As people die in these hotspots, they will want to come back to them. That is very much what I'm doing in this gameplay, where I stick on the outskirts of the hotspot of the map and try and kill people as they enter it. Tip number 2, don't linger in any patrol that you are taking on. Since camping is not allowed, I'm not going to say don't linger in any corners because you shouldn't be anyway. However, if you are patrolling a different area and it is being really successful for you, don't stick to it for too long. Enemies will figure you out and figure out that you are in that sector, and they will find weird and awkward routes to try and be unpredictable and come at you with. Even if your patrol has the best intentions, you may get caught off guard. Try not to stick to a single patrol for too long. In the case of hijacked, it's a good idea to switch buildings by going underneath the ship every now and then, so that you can switch up your patrol and try a different route. And the number 1 tip for Hipfire BITCH free-for-all challenge is to try the tactical layout. If you are not using the tactical layout, it is likely that the melee button is on your joystick. This can be a hindrance to you, as the Hipfire BITCH challenge doesn't really involve knifing. What you should try instead is to put on the tactical layout and use it to your advantage, because drop shotting while hip firing is one of the best things that you can do. It allows you to extend the possibility of you winning a close quarters engagement where an enemy knows that you are there. If they are able to turn on you and aim at you, the more unpredictable you can be with your movement, the better it will be for you. That wraps up all the 10 tips that are best for Hipfire bitching. But this gameplay is certainly not coming to a close just yet, so I will continue to commentate over it and let you know how this game went. I actually found this game to be a lot of fun. It was a lot more refreshing to use the Type25 going for a 2KD than it was trying to use a shotgun or some of the other weapons that I have tried so far. The LMGs are not bad, but I would suggest that using the certain assault rifles are a little bit more fun and a little bit more user-friendly. As a secondary, the B23R is a really good secondary. I've been using it a lot in these gameplays, as it is one of the best hip-firing pistols that you can have. I do like it as a secondary, and it is quick to draw out and quick to put a few rounds downrange on someone. With a laser sight, it has actually got a good medium-range hip-fire box that you can certainly manage and kill people with. The Type 25 shooting as fast as it is comparable to an SMG. I'm sure I could have gotten a better score with this if I would have kept playing over and over again with it. I probably would have been able to manage more along the lines of a shotgun KD or even an SMG KD. That's another point I want to address. A lot of people in that first video were complaining about the KDs being too high for the SMGs. I highly disagree with this, as the SMGs are probably the easiest guns to hipfire with. This is something that I'd like to address, because if you guys feel that the KDs are too high for that, you must consider that I have already received several wins that are acing the SMG KD using guns that are not SMGs. People have sent me pistol gameplays that are much stronger than 30 and 5, and I've already received an SMG gameplay that is 30 and 2. It is very possible to destroy people hip firing with SMGs in this game, especially if you control your engagements and follow the tips that I gave you in this video. As you can see in this gameplay, it is getting to the point where the person who is leading the game is about to win. They should likely have kicked my ass and already closed out, but again, such as my last video, I was able to come back and secure a clutch victory just before they were able to win. Right now I'm caught in a bad place. This is what I mean by knowing the limits of your gun and not putting yourself in bad situations. Close quarters combat is your friend, and I am out in the fucking open in between two cars that can get shot up and blown up near me. But because of that, thankfully I get a fortuitous spawn, and I'm able to clear up two guys and start making my comeback. This is what I mean by the B23R being a good secondary. It has a good medium range triple tap, and it makes it very easy for you to clean up an extra foe when you run out of ammo and need to reload. I'm coming towards the end here. There's a camping bitch on this one side of the map the whole time. I'm glad that he ventured out just as I arrived, and I was able to clear him out. But part of this whole game is to, if you engage someone and they are aware of your presence, I would highly recommend taking an alternate route. Because what happens is, if someone knows that you're coming and you've taken some pot shots, maybe even got a hit marker, you may not win that engagement unless you take an awkward flank. Here is the clutch victory, double kill, switching to the B23R for my final kill. I was able to clutch this out 30 and 13 to the guy who was in second place at 28 and 29. He must have been having a hell of a time trying to close out, going 1 for 1. You can see this nice switch over and the nice finish off right in the chesticles with the B23R. Hipfire bitch, I was able to close it out. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. If you guys are new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Check out my last gameplays, just laying down the rules for the free-for-all edition of this Hipfire Bitch challenge. And submit your clips to Hipfire Bitch. Thanks, cheers.